Let me tell you something that should make every American who's saving for retirement sit up straight. You can do everything right. You can max out your 401k, fund your IRA every year, follow every rule in the book, and build a beautiful nest egg. And then, with a single stroke of a pen, the government can change the rules on you. Not on your future contributions, on the money you already saved. Under the deal you thought you signed up for. And here's the kicker, they already did it. A few years back, they quietly rewrote one of the biggest rules in retirement, and it's costing American families a fortune right now. And most people still have no idea it happened. So today, I want to show you what changed, what else is quietly shifting under your feet, and most importantly, how to build a retirement that survives whatever Congress decides to do next, because this is the part almost nobody plans for. Let's start with the big one, the change that proves my point. For decades, there was something called the Stretch IRA, and it was one of the most powerful wealth transfer tools in America. Here's how it worked. If you built up a big IRA and passed it to your kids, they could stretch the withdrawals out over their entire lifetime, pulling a little each year and letting the rest keep growing tax advantaged for decades. It was a beautiful, legal, government-blessed way to pass wealth down. Millions of Americans spent 30, 40 years building their accounts specifically with that plan in mind. And then, almost overnight, the government passed a law and killed it. Now, for most people who inherit an IRA, the entire account has to be emptied within 10 years. 10 years, not a lifetime. That crams decades of withdrawals into a short window, often landing right when your kids are in their peak earning years, and it can push them into the highest tax brackets and hand a massive chunk of your life savings straight to the IRS. Put a number on it. Say you leave $1 million IRA to your daughter, who's in her 40s and already earning a good salary. Under the old rules, she could sip from it slowly for the rest of her life. Under the new rules, she has to drain the whole thing within 10 years, piled right on top of her existing income, which can throw her into the top brackets and hand over hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax that, under the old system, her family would have kept. Same account, same daughter, but a rule change turned a gift into a tax bill. Think about that. People followed the rules perfectly, and the rules changed on them after the fact. That is the exact risk nobody warns you about. And it is not a one-time thing. It happens constantly. Take required minimum distributions, the age at which the government forces you to start pulling money out of your traditional accounts. That age has moved again and again, from 70 and a half to 72 to 73, and it's scheduled to climb higher still. Every time it moves, every retirement plan built around the old number has to be redone. Then there are the tax brackets themselves. A lot of Americans assume today's tax rates are just how it is, but tax rates are temporary. They've been much higher in the past. They get raised and cut with the political winds, and current rates are set to change. If you're betting your entire retirement on today's rates lasting forever, you're making a bet on Congress, and that is not a bet I would make. And here's my favorite example, because it's so sneaky. The tax on your Social Security benefits. When they wrote the rules deciding how much of your Social Security check gets taxed, they set income thresholds. And then they never adjusted those thresholds for inflation. Not once in decades. So every single year, as incomes and prices drift up, more and more retirees quietly cross those frozen lines and get more of their benefits taxed without a single new law being passed. It's a stealth tax increase on autopilot, hitting regular retirees who never saw it coming. Think about how sneaky that is. When those thresholds were written, only a small slice of wealthier retirees ever paid tax on their benefits. Today, because the lines never moved while everything else did, a huge share of ordinary American retirees get taxed on their Social Security, people the rule was never meant to touch. Nobody stood up and voted to raise their taxes. It just happens quietly every year, simply because a number on a page was frozen decades ago and never touched again. That is how rule changes work in the real world. And it's exactly why you can't just set your plan and forget it. And there are always more proposals floating around to eliminate the backdoor Roth, to tax unrealized gains, to end the step up in basis your heirs rely on. Some pass, some don't, but the ground never stops moving. So here's the lesson, and it's the whole point of this video. If you build your retirement on the assumption that today's rules are permanent, you are building on sand. You cannot control what Congress does, but you absolutely can build a plan that holds up no matter which way the rules break. So let me give you the ways to protect yourself, because this is where you take back control. Protection number 1, do not put all your money under one set of rules. If every dollar you own is in a traditional pre-tax account, then a single unfavorable change to how those accounts are taxed hits all of your money at once. Spread your savings across different tax treatments, some pre-tax, some tax-free like a Roth, some in a regular taxable account, so that no single rule change can wipe out your whole strategy. Diversifying your taxes is just as important as diversifying your investments, and almost nobody does it. Protection number 2, and this is a big one, lean hard into the Roth. When you put money in a Roth, you pay the tax now, at today's rates, and then it's locked in tax-free forever. Think about what that means in a world of rising rules and a mountain of national debt. If tax rates go up in the future, and there's a real argument that they have to, your Roth money is completely shielded. You already paid at a rate you knew. A Roth is one of the only ways to lock in today's deal and take future tax hikes off the table for that money. In an uncertain world, that certainty is worth a lot. Protection number 3, keep some flexibility and liquidity. Part of the danger with retirement accounts is that your money is locked away under rules that can change while it's trapped in there. Having a healthy chunk in a regular taxable brokerage account, money you can access anytime, means you're never completely at the mercy of a rule about a locked account. Flexibility is protection. Protection number 4, specifically for passing money down, adapt to that new 10-year inherited account rule instead of ignoring it. One powerful move is to convert some of your traditional IRA to a Roth during your lower income years, paying the tax yourself at a controlled rate so your kids inherit tax-free money and don't get slammed by that 10-year squeeze. You take the hit on your terms instead of leaving them to take it on the government's terms. And here's the beautiful part. $1 you convert to Roth today is $1 the government can never quietly retax later, no matter how they change the rules, because you've already settled up. It's off the table for good. That is exactly the kind of certainty you want more of when the rule book keeps getting rewritten. And protection number 5, don't build your whole plan around a single clever loophole, because loopholes are exactly what get closed. Use the solid mainstream tools, keep your plan simple enough to adjust, and review it every couple of years, because the rules you planned around 2 years ago may not be the rules today. Now let me leave you with the mindset, because this is really what separates people who stay wealthy from people who get blindsided. The rules are going to keep changing for the rest of your life. That is not pessimism, it's just reality. The people who win are not the ones who correctly predict what Congress will do, because nobody can do that reliably. The winners are the ones who build a plan flexible enough that they don't need to predict it. Tax diversified, Roth heavy, liquid enough to move, and reviewed regularly. When you're built like that, a surprise rule change isn't a catastrophe, it's just a minor adjustment. You roll with it and keep going. So let me bring it home. The government changed the rules on inherited IRAs and cost families a fortune. It keeps moving the goalposts on withdrawal ages, tax brackets, and the stealth tax on your Social Security, and there's always more coming. You can't stop any of it, but you can protect yourself, diversify your taxes, lean into the Roth to lock in today's rates, keep some money flexible, plan your estate around the new rules, and stay adaptable. Do that, and no politician in the country can blow up your retirement. And since the rules genuinely do change all the time, please do check the current details before you act on any of this. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there.